This is side B of Gorgeous, Gorgeous Goddesses. Just a heads up, to really enjoy this episode, I would suggest you listen to side A first. I mean, it doesn't matter too much, but context is key. There's some inside jokes, some conversations, some stories that will only make sense if you have side A in the bag. So go listen. This episode is where a lot of things come full circle in a way only core fans of the show will know. There's a pleasant surprise somewhere in there. You can't miss it. But don't worry. If this is your first time, I got you. I found a way to cleverly carry you guys along. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Side B is where we explored dating, relationships, emotions, therapy, and so much more. It's the epic conclusion of a whirlwind conversation. Anita, Fanen, and Vanessa, aka Rodney's Goddesses, got deep into some personal things. I wasn't ready, and I don't think you are either, but we'll see. My name is Rodney Omolkachie, and this is The Young God, a podcast for goddesses. So I'm going to ask you the same question, but in a different way now. Where are you guys mentally?
Mentally.
Men.
Oh, mentally.
Mentally, what are these boys or men things you guys out there? Because I know you said that you usually come back for
the men.
For the men, but this time...
Nigerian men, I've noticed that we're not thinking in the same direction, and they're very, very... I'm sorry, I don't mean all Nigerian men. Let me rephrase this. Nigerian men that I personally have dated are lazy, number one. Number two, thinking is different, and I don't like men who are very manipulative.
Right.
And I feel like I meet the same type a lot. And this year was the year that I go against my type. I go against the men that I am firstly attracted to, or I firstly want to. Yeah, sorry. I firstly want to. This year I told myself that I will go against everything because definitely my type is not the best type for me.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't know, like fine boys. I'm sorry, I feel like fine boys don't have a lot to offer.
Wow.
As
a resident fine boy here, I'm very...
I'm done.
The fine boys don't have a lot to offer. It's sad. It's sad. Me, I'm a huge conversationalist.
Yeah.
Like, there are lots of things that you have to keep my mind going. But like there's little to no energy.
A lot of babes these days are sapiosexual for no goddamn reason.
I hate that term so much.
I hate
I hate that term so much, but it is what it is with me, man. You can't date me and not talk to me. You can't date me and do me, hello baby, how are you? Have you eaten? Have you drunk? Have you? I'm sorry. By day 3, I'll break up. Yeah.
Okay, so that means you have even gotten to the dating phase.
For sure.
Before you find out that you need to
What I'm realizing with men is they put so much energy initially, and then the decline, Jesus, it doesn't go phew, it goes like up till down. The decline is serious. It's declining.
Which is why, as a rule, personally, when I'm trying to date, I'm never like in a 2 weeks, talk for 2 weeks and start dating.
Yeah.
I can legit go 3 months talking to a person just so that
you see everything.
I know exactly, like, let's get over the feels of it. Let's know what exactly is in front of us so we know where we're going. You get that kind of thing. It's like a long-term audition. If
Both ways, yeah?
Both ways, yeah. It's a long-term addition.
Because they were about to pounce on you.
Auditioning.
Yeah, it's a long-term addition. Pretty much, you're getting to know someone, getting to know how they will fit into the rhythm of your life that you already have. You have boundaries already. You have, things that you won't shift from. You have ideas, values, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have this person that you're trying to invite in, and you do not want to make the mistake of saying that because you've got feelings, that it means that they make sense for you. Like, what I've come to understand is that feelings are basically just that initial chemical thing happening when somebody chooses you, because it has to be chosen.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I like him, she likes me, yeah, it feels good, but then that can confuse, if you can hide all the flaws. So by the time you spend a month, 2 months, like having all kinds of conversations, like you said, and those conversations are key, because when you have enough of those, you tend to like pull out people's true character. You know where they stand on certain issues, and then you kind of like negotiate with yourself and with them what you can shift your line for, and then you just hope to God that this person makes those sacrifices or compromises worth it. Again, this is both ways. I mean, I'm expecting that the person is doing that as well, because me personally, I don't want to hear a story like, after all I did for you, or after all of this stuff, I don't need to hear that. I want that we both know what's up, and that, I'm putting my cards on the table and you're seeing. I go that far as letting them know, so that they can now decide if I'm worth the trouble, and I can now let them know that I'm trying to figure that out as well. You get that kind of thing. So so I get that, but it's not about me. Vanessa, where are you mentally?
Me?
Yes.
I'm in a good space mentally, though. I'm just saying, like, that was backtrack. Mentally.
Okay, in a good place.
Now. Yeah.
With or without?
With someone, obviously.
Oh, you're with someone?
Yeah.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
For real? like here or there?
There.
Oh, okay.
But not here, never again.
I was wondering because
never.
Fanen don't be learning.
It doesn't work for me.
Okay.
How many bitters, how many shines? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm good.
Good how?
I'm good. Mentally.
Explain this, you're good. We talk about brief statement.
Yes.
Okay, I found myself. Let me explain. Allow me.
Okay.
I found myself. I'm complete. I'm whole.
We're strong.
I don't need anyone in my life. Do I want one at some point? But I know now is not the time, because I'm in a phase where I'm still exploring a new journey that I'm on. And I need to do this by myself for now. And in divine timing, the right person and I will
Only you and Jesus.
we'll talk.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. How about you? I want to hear from you.
Ooh. I do not know.
I mean, okay, so there was a point where I didn't date for like a good 4 or 5 years. So coming off of that space and dating, it has been very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting. I mean, the attention of men is always good. It's always good. It's just...
Oh, I know you like that.
It's just the right kind of thing, because men will waste your time.
Thank you.
They will waste your time. I noticed that I love long distance.
You love...
I love long distance.
Hold up.
What?
Like you prefer it...
On some level, I prefer long distance. And I think it's because I've been alone for a long time, right? And I feel like I'm able to fit... My challenge with dating, I know people talk about men, but my challenge with dating is fitting men into my already well-flowing life. Right? Like, the men that I've come across have been very chaotic. No two person that I've dated has been the same. know, to person, they don't look alike, they don't act alike, they don't think alike. They're not even the same location.
But they're all chaotic.
It's all been very chaotic.
Wow.
In the past, I used to move very fast. If I meet 3 in a month, might be married next month. You know, like I love the idea of love, and I'm very into the fairy tale. So if it comes and it makes sense, I'm like, let's do this. Very into the fairy tale. But the last situationship that I had, I tried to slow it down because I'm like, I've gone fast with these people, and let's try to take it slow. And that showed me something. It made me waste my time less, because I saw basically like what you said. Everyone had their cards on the table, and I saw what I needed to see, and I was just like, yeah, I'm out of here. But for me, it needs to make sense.
Yeah.
Everything you're telling me needs to make sense, and your actions need to make more sense. I think it's just giving it very much I want to be alone, but
Understanding, I feel like all this is still helps you find the right person. And that's what I love about relationships.
Stepping stones.
Like you learn from each relationship.
Yeah, I know what my type is, and I I'm interested to fall in love. I want to fall in love, but I want it to happen and be right.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't like push to start situations. You know, situations where you start in the beginning, you guys are already having hiccups. He thinks we are this, she thinks we are this, or whatever. Like things are happening, and then you manage to get to level 2. Then things are happening. Like I like the beginning to be smooth. I feel like in relationships, things should happen to you. You shouldn't happen to each other. I don't know if that makes sense.
100%.
Like challenges should come to you. You shouldn't be my challenge. I shouldn't be your challenge. So any relationship where I am your challenge or you're my challenge, I feel like it's a push to start situation, and I don't want to be part of it. Let life happen to us. Let things happen to us, and let's figure it out. I don't want to be doing, after all you've put me through, you're my woman, all these kind of captions, they don't make sense to me.
I understand.
Yeah.
But compromise.
I know compromise, yeah, but the thing is, what am I compromising on? Are you hurting me and I'm compromising?
Okay, so it depends.
Yeah, it depends, because I know we're always gonna argue, and one person is gonna feel away, but telling you how I feel about something shouldn't be an argument. Same way applies to me. And then when we have arguments, it should be a thing of, are we talking to reconcile? Are we talking for talking sake? Or are we talking so I can be right and you're wrong? You know, one thing I noticed about people is that during relationship or during the talking stage, you like to do power play, power games and all that. And I used to do it in the past, but I've come to realize that I don't have the energy for it. Push, check in, you texted me by 2 p.m. I'll wait till 4:30 to text you back. All those unnecessary things, or I'm going to be here and I'm going to do this so you can see that I'm doing this, so you can do your own back. Like all those things, it's just, to me, it's childish, a waste of time. And I feel like it cheapens what you're trying to build with a person. Because after all the hiccups, what are we building? Next month, so let's say we're doing a 1-year relationship, a 1-year anniversary, and I'm thinking about in the beginning how you dragged me through the mud. So what am I celebrating? So I don't want a thing where it's push to start for us to get somewhere. I feel like it should be smooth.
It's crazy because I'm trying to take myself from that mentality that relationships are difficult in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm dating someone, and I told them that there's no quarrel yet, and I'm looking for it. It's like, where is the quarrel? I'm used to, you insult me, I insult you, father, you're this, you're that, papa. I mean, not that deep, but trouble in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you know how the Nigerian women have the mentality of, if you're not suffering, you understand?
Yeah.
Yes, so it's like shifting my head from, you don't have to suffer in your relationship. Things actually can go smoothly.
You know, that's one thing that, because you know when you're not dating, you learn from other people. That's one thing I've seen in a lot of relationships that I've told myself,
You're not going to do it. Yeah.
I don't
and
want it for myself.
When she used to say that, I'm like, babes, but that's the norm. She's like, but that's not the norm. I'm like, but that's the norm.
I'm quick to, I always say in the beginning, my bag is packed. I'm here, but that bag is packed. And if I notice that the red flags are flying out, just pick my bag and go.
You know, women like to say that men should be comfortable showing emotion and crying and things like that. Is that something you guys believe?
100%.
Yeah, I love an
Emotional. I cry for me.
No,
I don't know.
I love.
Okay,
You can no. I like men who communicate. If there's an issue, communicate.
Communicate.
Don't be crying for me every day.
No. Emotional men are not crying every day, men. They are just in touch with their emotions.
Yeah.
See, I hate stats might be wrong, but 60% of the men around us don't even know how to even show their emotions, and that's why they cannot communicate.
Yeah.
You cannot be you can't say
But
you're
showing and
communicating.
communicating emotions.
There's a
They're on
difference
the same
between
line, babe.
there's between communicating and whining.
Thank you. I think you're on the whining
I can't be with a whiner.
No, I mean communicating. Communicate. If I have an issue, if I feel angry, that's an emotion. If I feel sad, that's an emotion. I should be able to communicate it to you. And that is that showing, communicating and showing is basically the same.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
thing is, someone who is always crying is probably always whining. And nobody likes a whiner.
Yeah.
Of course.
Definitely, you don't want a whiner, but you want someone who can tell you.
But the thing, the word crying came from Rodney. He's the one who said, "How do we feel about?"
No, I mean, if
about men crying, that's why.
If your grandma dies, I want you to cry.
Yeah.
If you lost something
if
precious
you lost
to
a
you,
business, you'll cry.
exactly,
Your friend
that
pisses
makes you feel
off,
better.
Cry.
Yeah.
But the thing is, now some people use
No, I'm not going to lie.
so a man who knows balance. I don't want to be with someone who I can't be there for.
Yeah.
If you're going through stuff and you don't tell me, I'm gonna feel a type of way. I know if you feel like I'm handling it like a man, but partnership is you give, you take. I should be there for you the same way you're gonna be there for me. If you don't come to me for your challenges, where are you going? And if you're not going anywhere, that's worse.
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
I think it's a boundaries thing at first, because when before a guy is gonna be telling his girl what he's really, really going through, like he has to know that she is a safe place like that.
Oh yeah, okay,
You know,
I can see that.
So it's a thing that women want a lot of times without having like crossed that threshold of the relationship in a man's head. Because I always say that women have this thing where they feel like because they have caught feelings or they like the person, it's the same as him liking her the same way. You know, so they expect certain things that come with how they feel as opposed to how the person feels. It's like, I like you X amount, right? So I expect, certain things, but he doesn't like you X amount yet. He's like, you've already gotten to where you need to be. He's working his way up there. So in that way, I think a lot of women kind of like miss out on something important when they think that because they've got feelings, the work is done. It's now like a situation where how do you treat this guy, or how do you show him that you are someone that he can trust in that way, for him to now like be able to even not just his wins but his losses, not just losses but like his insecurities, like there's a way, because speaking as a guy, like I've known the moments when I've crossed that threshold with a woman, and I've known what it's like when I don't trust her. Like I like her, like you can like someone, but you cannot trust them that much. You can trust them to maybe have the key to your space. You can trust them to, do certain things, but then that trust, that next level of, okay, this is what is really going on at some point, or maybe in the family or whatever, it's a level that a lot of women don't get to. And it now seems like he's not talking, where it's a matter of like time, or maybe she's not even like doing.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But this
why
is
does
why
it have to be that complicated?
No. But this is why relationship check-ins are very important. And this is what.
But then they're not even in a relationship at
I
this
know,
point.
but the thing is, if you are doing anything with a person, we have a relationship. It's a platonic, light relationship. It's not an intense relationship because we just met each other. But it's a relationship because I respect your time enough for me to come here. if you're pushing your mouth to someone else's mouth, that is some sort of relationship. It's not an important one, it's not deep, but it's one. And if it's someone that you're considering starting something with, it also happens. It is a relationship. That's why you need to ask yourself, what are we doing? Are you, even a simple question like, are you enjoying yourself with what we're doing? Some people don't know how important that is, right? Or how do you feel about this thing so far? Do you think we're going to continue? Things like that. And then if someone has caught feelings for you like a girl, you can tell, because we can tell when someone likes us. Start opening that conversation.
I was going to say that as well, because you can't say, oh, she has caught feelings for you and you haven't caught the same amount.
Exactly.
You're the one way, you're talking as a guy, fine.
Yeah.
But me as a woman, you most likely approached me.
Yeah.
In fact, you approached me.
Yeah.
And I'm liking you. The feelings I'm catching.
No,
it's true.
Yeah.
You most likely approached me. And me, the feelings I have for you is 95% based off the feelings you have for me. The conversations we have had.
Because
I can't
of what
say
you have promised to me.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
promise in whichever way, because I
Yeah.
can't say you, a man, will come up to me and you're not chatting me up, you're not telling me you like me, you're not telling me you want to fit, and then me, I just caught feelings for you like that. No,
That's
it did
a
not
cycle.
happen. You chased me.
That's not what I mean.
Yeah, but that's the impression you give when you say, oh, she has feelings for you, but then you don't have the same amount of
I'm
feelings
telling
for
you
her.
about the situation, and this is where self-awareness is now like really, really key. Think about it, right? A situation where a guy has toasted you properly, you've caught feelings, but
He's also not there.
yeah, he's not there because you haven't like reciprocated that toasting. You've not figured him out. He solved you haven't solved him. It happens like that. So you're in a situation where she likes me, we're hanging out, we're doing things, but there's a level of trust or authenticity that is still, how do you say, locked because you're not there yet. And some babes, they pick up on that and they start to like reciprocate they start to bring out themselves more as opposed to just being passive enjoyers of this guy that is toasting me, asking me, have you eaten, doing all these things that, oh, he's caring, he's understanding. Like you can point out all the ways he's good to you, but then when you really think about it, you haven't really like, you haven't like solved him personally. He's figured you out. He knows what to do to make you smile, what to say when you're good or down, but you don't really know. So now here he is, and he may not even be aware of this dynamic himself for whatever reason. Here he is going through something, and you're asking him about it, and he's giving you like shallow answers. Not because he doesn't like you, doesn't care about you, but because he doesn't feel like you can handle the weight of it. And as a partner, what you want in a partner as a guy is someone who can handle like the weight of what, if you know what men deal with, like everyone deals with their stuff, but if you know what men deal with, you want someone, your partner ideally in the end, to be someone who can, handle, who understands what the fuck. There's a certain like level of camaraderie you get with a woman where you can be yourself. Let's take a moment to pause and breathe. Relieve the tension. Whatever you're doing, close your eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's resume. Like women, for some reason, they you guys like get off on niggas' tears. But I'm gonna tell you this.
Don't generalize.
Not quite.
Have you seen the internet?
Do not generalize.
I'm just saying. Yeah, but have you seen the internet?
Sexually, but I'm happy when men
Why would you
cry.
go there? Why did you even think that?
You see posts where it's like, men should cry more. Men should. A man doesn't need to cry the way women cry.
I don't
Women,
think so.
women can cry unprovoked. Women can cry over a bad day.
He'll tell you 6 years ago when somebody died. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It has to be something very drastic to really.
And that is fair.
No.
You have to understand that crying, what women don't understand sometimes, that crying sometimes can be an overreaction. It's not always the thing,
But crying is a reaction. It's not a.
Do you know why we ask why you cry? When last you cried?
Yeah.
Because we want to know how much pent-up trauma you have.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to be the receptor
Yes, that's the first thing I
of
asked
that
my boy.
trauma
Really?
at some point.
100%.
That's not fair.
Because
you're going to come be telling me all of that.
the day you snap, I'm going to be getting when
6 years ago,
10 years ago, stepped on your feet. That's why we want you to let it out.
Okay,
regularly.
but see, you're saying that the biggest sign for a person having dealt with their trauma or whatever
that's not what you're saying.
is crying.
No.
So if you said, for example, I haven't cried in a long time.
You have to give you 1994.
I haven't cried in a long. In fact, the last time I cried is probably from a movie.
Okay, that's
Okay,
Do you understand?
From a movie.
From a movie.
Not that somebody died. They're two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even still, even if I haven't watched that movie or whatever, like I don't feel like I have to cry to deal with something. Men don't feel that way in general. A man can deal with stuff.
Yeah.
Without having to. It's women that need to.
Something really traumatic happens to you. How do you let that out?
First of all, you talk
To who?
to a friend, to family, to God. To
I'm just asking you personally.
Yeah, you talk. You know,
Okay.
you talk. And then another key thing is figuring out, how. Because so here's the thing, right? If you understand how trauma works, which I do, then you know what to do internally to be able to deal and move past it. I understand, how undealt with trauma right now can affect future things. So if you're already like conscious of that on certain levels, then you know how you want to interpret certain things so that it serves you positively as opposed to negatively, right? But then obviously there's a place and there's a time and place for tears. Because I don't think any guy sits down in their house and is like holding in tears. If you feel like crying, a guy will cry.
No, they are. There are guys who are like that.
Whether it's private, whether it's in private, if not in front of somebody, even in private, like if you feel the need to cry, I don't think there's any guy out here who has the need to cry and they're just.
So men cry, they just lie about it.
I feel like that's what I'm getting.
No, men cry, just not as frequently and just not.
What? So is it?
And that's okay now.
Yeah, exactly. But this frequency that I'm hearing,
It's like once a
is it no. I
Once in
feel like
5
this
years.
frequency about women is a stereotype.
Is it though?
I don't think it's a stereotype.
Is it
I'm
though?
a crier.
I got.
You are a
I
crier.
am a crier. I cry for everything.
I used to be a crier,
Bitches
but now
be crying.
I cry when I'm yeah. Bitches be crying.
Honestly, I am bitches.
Yeah,
I be crying.
I don't know, because I know
Obviously,
some people who don't cry that.
That's how I say cry. Just like that.
Yeah.
I like crying. Remember going to lie. Helps me see.
Like I think. Let me tell you what. If you think a weak man, if you think strong men are a problem, wait till you fuck with a weak man.
I have.
Weak men are the worst.
As recent as possible.
I think, and that's what men are raised to control their emotions in that way because as a person or as a person anyway, but as a man specifically, knowing what you have to deal with as an adult going
I don't
forward.
like that term at all.
I just feel like it's
I don't like
very...
the term as a man. As a man.
Yo, like
As a man.
you don't have to like it, but it's the fact as a guy, there's certain that at some point you're gonna face like all kinds of things, and your job as a guy, as a man who's going to have a family, who needs to be able to move when things are bad as
First of all, men are not raised to be emotionally aware or emotionally self-aware. And I feel like the only emotion
Neither are
that
women.
men are encouraged to have is anger. And I feel men always say women are emotional because we cry. We cry. We
Men
cry.
are
But
emotional.
you see how easy men get upset.
Men are emotional.
Usually when it comes to anger, it's anger that's their favorite
Anger,
emotion.
and funny thing is they don't see anger as an emotion.
But
Every 2 minutes you're angry, you're hissing, you're slamming the door.
every 2 minutes. What
I'm just saying some people. I'm giving examples, right?
Okay, I'm like.
Yeah, but that's an emotion.
Yeah.
But they don't take account of that. They believe because I haven't cried, I'm not an emotional person. But you're angry almost every day. Your car breaks down.
Or maybe
Take it
Arsenal has not won World Cup for many years.
Even that. Look at how men their life flip over when their team doesn't win and they're angry.
Yeah.
they'll be sad, they'll turn into anger. They'll be irritated, they'll turn into anger. Anything that happens, they'll turn into anger.
They cannot differentiate any other emotion
but anger.
about anger.
They're not
Because
going to your
that's
room and cry.
exactly because that's the emotion that is accepted for men.
For them,
And what we women are asking is for you to explore other emotion, explore sadness. Sometimes you're just sad.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just be sad in my house and no, I want to sleep because I'm sad. Explore sadness, explore disappointment, explore guilt, explore anger.
Less of anger.
No. But you need to explore anger because you can be angry and not be violent. You can be angry without being disrespectful or being abusive. Explore anger in a healthy way. Because I always say, if I'm angry, let me be angry. I have a space and I have the right to be angry. Let me, because sometimes people tell you, oh, don't get angry, just let me be angry. Let me walk through this emotion because it's an emotion. If I don't walk through it now, I'm going to hold on to it. And next time another thing happens, I'll hold on to it. And you know what that builds? Resentment. You start hating people for no reason. But it's because of 2 months ago, you should have just
or 5
angry.
years ago.
Exactly.
Or 10. Some
should have
people
just been
hold on
angry.
to things for 10 years.
So
Should have just been angry when we were angry.
That's true.
what you've described, what we can both agree on, we can all agree on is that whether it's a man or a woman, we all start out having terrible handle over emotions. Like, so
I can agree with that.
whether
Good with my emotions.
Some of it.
sorry?
I'm good with my emotions.
I can agree with that because I've not always been I've not always known how to process my emotions. I've experienced a lot of trauma in life and I've not always known how to compartmentalize. I've not always known how to do that. I've not always known how to process guilt
The student says at the end of the day.
or disgust. Disgust, because it's okay to be disgusted by people and things.
100%.
But not everything needs to feed into the other. And that's something I had to learn. And that's something that therapy even had to teach me. Right? So we all start up not knowing. I think we all know if you get beaten or you get hurt, you cry. If something annoys you, you shout or you get angry. I think those are the 2 emotions that we know. We know sadness to some level, to an extent, but some people also don't know how to look at sadness in a positive light. Some people think sadness is such a bad thing. It's not bad to be sad sometimes.
And I tell you what, right? What is missing from this conversation is that it's not about, men crying more or women, or women crying less or whatever. It's just about being able.
That was so hard.
Because in the end, trust me, bad as bad, you want a man who tears is not his go-to emotion when things are tough. You want to be the one who will cry and he's the one consoling you.
Do you know what? If you want to cry, cry. If you don't want to cry, as long as you deal with whatever it is and
My
you
thing
move on
is,
and not be
as long as
toxic.
you deal with it,
There's no problem.
and move on.
Yeah.
That's fine. As long as you deal with it and don't make it my problem. It's not like I don't care about you, but when I can tell, no, because when I can tell that your movements, the way you're acting, slamming doors and all this, is because of something you haven't dealt with. Now I'm going to have to now start pulling it out of you. Deal with your emotions. If you want to talk about it, let's talk. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to find a room and punch shit out, that's fine.
That's not fine by me.
That's fine by me. If you want
Violence.
Not violence, so
punching bags.
Oh, I said punch shit out.
Yeah, exactly. Like
punching
punch
the
like
wall.
a bimbo. Like this is
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Those
punching back.
boxing things, yeah?
Yeah.
If you want to, if that's how you let things out, let us get through it. Don't start slamming the dishes and moving around very
I say one tiny thing and you attack me based on something else.
Exactly, because you're having a bad day. Your
Yeah.
face is not squeezed. I can't even show you a cute meme that I saw on the internet.
Somebody's having a bad
sound
day
like
and she
this.
never cute me. What's wrong with you?
What if you smart? Ron is looking at me like,
Yeah.
when you see a big red flag.
No, not even. Not even.
Like this.
No. Not even. Because I feel, man. If I remember when I was younger as a kid, my dad would yell at me for something, and I would cry.
Yeah.
And then he would say to me, "You cry so easily." And at that point, it would seem like, oh my God, toxic masculinity. Here's his son, a father telling his son not to that he cries easily. But when I grew up, I realized that I should be able to save my tears. If someone should scream at me or do something I don't like, there are better ways to deal than to cry. Like, I think crying is a last resort emotion for a guy. It should not be the go-to. Even as a person, this is not even guy or girl. As a person, you should have that kind of like some level of emotional control so that you save your tears. I think tears are precious. Anyway, I guess I'm just glad we have this conversation because it's good to just get, people's point of view and just like at least get the audience to hear how Vanessa, Fanen, and Anita feel about these things. Because they know, if you've been listening, they know that I believe in strong men with that emotional control. Like, that's real strength.
That sounds very toxic to me.
Really?
Very
It's
toxic.
giving toxic.
Really? Then I'm the most toxic guy out there. That's what it means, because
You don't think you're toxic?
I don't think I'm toxic at all. I don't think I'm toxic at all. I think that I've figured out a way to deal that is healthy, is constructive. Especially when you're someone like me who puts himself out there in a very serious way, in a very big way, which means that I take a lot of L's on a daily, right?
You explore therapy?
Yeah.
You've explored therapy?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still going to therapy?
No.
Yeah.
Why?
I can tell. Funny thing.
Why?
I can tell he's very in touch.
Mhm.
You know when you're very in touch, but you're not really dealing?
Yeah.
That's
Not really dealing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what you get.
Yeah, I'm so
I
happy
know.
because I was thinking like, yeah,
I know you.
self-aware men.
Do you know I only
They
went...
know, but they do. Inside.
Yeah.
They're not doing.
Really? Okay, that's what you get. That's cool. But the therapy thing is, I only went one time,
Yeah.
and that was because it was my birthday. I turned 30 this year. Yeah. So the therapist was offering 2-3 weeks sessions. So I was like, you know what? Shit.
Yeah.
Let me see what all the fuss about, and go and do what it do. So I went there, and it was a very, very fruitful, like, therapy is the business. I would always advise anyone to. In fact, and here's the thing: like, you always think that you need to be going through something to go see a therapist. I'm not going through anything. I went just there to, like, in fact, just talk about myself, my story with someone who is trained to understand and to listen. And it banged. You get what I'm saying?
Bag that's in the playlist.
Yeah, it banged. Oh yeah, to the point where at the end of our 2-week session, she described my mental state as eunoia. Have you heard that word before?
No, what is that?
Eunoia means a well-thinking mind, a well-working mind in psychology. So it's funny that you should say that it seems like I have something I'm not dealing with, but I guess, the professional opinions, I'll take that. For those tuning in for the first time to this podcast, I told my therapy story earlier this season. It's called The Most Powerful Thing My Therapist Said to Me. There's a link in the description of this episode. I highly recommend you listen to that. It was so good. So good that I have Side B coming out soon. I think if you're into therapy or into mental health, that episode will open your eyes as to a lot of different things. So tune in. Back to gorgeous, gorgeous goddesses, aka Triple G. I should just say Triple G from now on. Anyway, around this time last season, I dropped an episode titled The Night She Entered Her Element. Fans of the show must be very, very familiar with that bombshell of an episode. And guess what? That was Vanessa's story. Yes, that Vanessa from that episode is this Vanessa. And we're about to unpack that. Let us dive into the episode of the podcast that Vanessa was on.
Ooh, I listened today.
Oh shit.
You listened to that today? What do you think?
About the episode or about Vanessa?
Everything.
There are lots of things I actually was not aware about that I found out on that episode. Which,
Oh really?
yeah, it made me question our relationship a bit.
What?
No, that's fine. We'll talk about that later. I was sad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was honestly sad. I'm like, oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. I understood some things, but maybe the depth. I know how deep it was.
How deep what was?
how deep the awakening was.
The whole time I've been talking about it.
No, I understood there was an awakening, but I understood it from one perspective, which I felt like we discovered something together, and I thought that was the perspective.
Okay, we need to talk about this
Yes,
later.
but not like multiple perspectives.
Okay.
Right. Interesting. But you enjoyed it though.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Funny thing is, she did not know about it when I was doing it.
Yeah.
She was giving me all this just over time.
Did you get me?
You know,
And I woke up one morning and I saw my business out there, and I'm like,
she woke up one morning.
okay.
She didn't even know it was her because it's titled "The Night She Entered Her Element," something like
Yeah.
that, right? So, and since she's already listening, she just went to listen to something that was there. And next
And then I
thing,
had Vanessa, and I'm like, Vanessa? I'm like, Vanessa? And then I had in UK. I'm like, in UK? I'm like 26, 27. I'm like, 26, 27. This is me. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, wow.
but then, what has that episode done for you? How do you feel about it?
It came at the right time. It was a gift. It was a gift from God, I just say, because I was about to make a decision the night before I told you this. And that episode was a reminder to stop running away from hard things.
Yeah.
You know, I still listen to it from time to time.
That was dope, and it was even more special because she connected in a way I didn't expect. Because when I posted it, I knew deep down, like, when I was writing the episode, I knew that she would either hate this or love it.
Yeah.
Because I'm so private. I'm like, how is my business like out there on a podcast without my permission?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was just like, okay, but it came at the right time. So clearly it's a gift from God. But I'm like, still like, man. You know when you're talking to your friend and giving them proper like gist and details, and then the next day you see it on social media and you're like, can you be trusted?
Well, it was Max. It was Max first because I know you that I know it's you. Yeah. And plus when you were doing the voice things, it wasn't her voice. If it was your voice then, which I was looking out for, I'm like, okay, so who is going to like the little talk? It wasn't you.
Yeah.
There's no way anyone can tell it's you without knowing it's you.
But the reason I did it was I knew that story would help a lot of women in that phase, which it did. Like it like if you think she connected with it, imagine the other like ladies out there who, whether they're older and they could relate to when they had their own, awakening, and those who are still working their way towards it. So both level of woman were like, the feedback was incredible. Like the episode was featured, I didn't even tell you, it was featured.
What?
It really did, it really got a lot of people thinking about themselves differently. So the main thing here is sometimes how our stories informs the stories of others, how you interpret it, which is why it's very key. Because now, if you saw how I interpreted her story, you can imagine how I interpret my own story.
Yeah.
You get, and how just the kind of eyes I used to see the world. Vanessa, thank you. And now the audience are going to know that it was you. Because, like I said, we didn't plan this.
Yeah.
There was never a time I thought Vanessa should come on the podcast.
Yeah.
But the universe works in mysterious ways where it's like, let's make everything come around full circle. She started as a listener.
Yeah.
Then a subject.
Yeah.
And now she's on the podcast. So it's full circle like that.
I love it.
So since you've listened to it, is there like, do you feel like you're in your element?
Do I feel like I'm in my element?
Or you're about to get in there somewhere?
I feel like I am. I feel like I'm in my element for a while.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been woke for a while. I was telling her I was too woke. My problem was I was too woke to be like for my age. That I was not enjoying the age. It's like that's what we were talking about.
The process.
Yeah.
You see, but that's the thing. I had two awakenings. So I was asleep in both worlds. I was asleep in the physical world and I was asleep spiritually. So I've had like two awakenings in the span of a year.
Only
me. Only me.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice, great. Blessings to you and your maker.
Amen.
Because
Amen.
the point I was making earlier is that, you have to find a way to deal with the life that's in front of you in a healthy way so you can keep moving forward and, stay on track with who you are, who you want to be, where you're going, and being in your element, like getting to that space where you understand all of that really like helps, which is why, I always said I never felt like I needed therapy, because I understood early on, like what therapy is supposed to do is what I already did in terms of helping you figure out like what life is in terms of just expect shit to be sideways, and then all you can do is control how you deal, how you react, how you like enter that element or whatever. If anything, which you can tell from that episode when you listen to it, is my perspective of what I was seeing or hearing from her. You get, and then what she benefited was hearing my interpretation of her story.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate.
It's different too.
Yeah, and then just the way it was told from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Because at first, the beginning, she was like, "This nigga is talking about me," and then by the time you get to the end, "This nigga is talking about me." So that was my gamble. I was like, I know Vanessa's not gonna be happy, but this is so good.
Yeah.
So I was willing to risk it all, like. Risk the friendship, yes.
I'm done.
I was like, like this would be a real test of,
What the whole friendship
of what we had, and luckily it was on point. Yeah, you gotta listen to it.
No, I have to. Because I want to know. I really want to know.
Yeah, especially because you just met her, right? So I mean, Fanen has a lot of like context.
Yeah.
She's one of my besties.
See, yeah. So now imagine those who didn't know her from anywhere, but just hearing it, right?
She's one of my besties, and I was still shocked.
Even I was shocked. I was shocked when she was telling me these things in person. Because I was not shocked, but I was more like. I was just happy that at her own like process of the journey, how she was coming about it, and it's not something that a lot of us are privy to, because most times we're going through these things on our own. People only just get to experience us once we have done the work and we're out there now.
That is true.
You get, but hearing her like, she would call Ronnie, I just experienced this, and like, yo,
You see me looking at him. I'm like, say one more thing.
I already said it on the podcast anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's also a testament to the power of marijuana. Do you guys smoke? Do you smoke weed?
I do edibles.
You do edibles? Yeah. She was smoking. She was.
I like how you said you actually smoke and be intentional in your smoke. You'd be shocked at what I'm like, whoa.
That's the truth, man. And it came in like a wrecking ball that high that day, didn't it? Yeah. So, Anita, Vanessa, Fanen. So any last words, ladies, before we wrap this 2-hour tornado of tea?
Listen, I don't even want it to end because I'm actually having a good time.
Man, thanks for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you for bringing my podcast dream to life. I've always wanted to be a podcast.
Yeah? Really?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm just like, imagine what it is like.
Like now, I'm on an inspirational podcast. I'm never going to be a bad day podcast.
Oh. I think I want to be in another inspirational podcast.
This could be a Babbage podcast. Let's
tone it down.
Let's take it there.
Let's take it back.
What did Babbage talk about? I don't know.
But I don't know about UK babes now.
Oh.
They have podcasts.
Yeah.
Like there is little one about UK babes on their podcast.
Yeah.
It's very
Very real and nasty.
Real.
Straight to the point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's all, man.
literally.
Oh my gosh. So going back, when you're going back to your respective places of sleep and rest and existence.
Today?
No, like back to the Canada and UK. What are you taking back from this trip?
I think I'm taking me.
Apart from the Nigerian things you bought in the market,
Yeah.
you're taking you.
I'm taking me back. I don't know. I just
Don't forget
realized-
yourself like you forgot the camera.
No.
Same.
You have to do that. You have to go there.
You have to go there. But just be forgetting.
See, when you have a lot on your mind,
Please,
that's what happens. That's what happens. But no. This trip, I just realized a lot of stuff, and like we always say, I like myself. I like who I'm becoming. I realized I actually really like who I am and who I'm becoming.
Preach.
I really, really like who I am. And I think that it's very good for your mental, it's good for your confidence, and it's also good for your happiness. Because I'm in a place where I know what I'm doing, and I also know what I am allowing to be done to me. So I just feel like it's helping my direction. It's helping me waver less. Because I don't know what decision you had to make. I'm going to go and listen to that podcast. But when you have to make tough decisions, knowing who you are is a very key one. I think for a long time, I was just going with the wave, especially in my personal life, because I was dealing with bigger things that I couldn't really focus on being myself in my personal. So now that I've kind of gotten a hold of the other things, I'm knowing who I am, and I'm knowing what I like, and I'm knowing where I'm going to, and I'm enjoying, and I like it. I really, really like it.
Something that she said that got me, my mind entered the gutter straight
Yeah.
away, was when she said, "What I like to be done to me."
Yeah.
I said, "Hey."
No, for real.
You honestly have authority over that too.
No, I mean, yeah, but like that's where my mind went, like, because
Your mind's in the gutter.
what I
I
was
just
saying.
got
Oh,
that.
I'm learning that.
my mind went in there straight, like,
I'm
you know.
learning that.
Nasty.
You know?
Nasty
Don't worry,
boy.
it's an all-round
Inspirational
experience.
podcast, please.
Deep woke womanizer. Thank you
Deep
very much.
work. Thank you. I told you that's what you called me, so.
You know. Yes. So okay, that's what you're taking back.
I came back and said back to it.
How about you, Fanen? What are you taking back?
What, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think I'm taking back anything. I actually just can't wait to go back to work. I don't know how to not be busy. I don't know how to vacate. Like I've said it to Anita.
I don't even think this is a vacation, you know.
Yeah.
It's been so busy that I think the only time I've literally sat down was this morning.
Why?
Because the thing is, this trip, like I said, involves so many people.
Okay,
Like,
seeing a lot of people. Yeah,
I've been in
yeah.
3 cities.
It's romantic for me.
I'm tired of
I've been to Port Harcourt, I've been to
Yeah.
Lagos, I've been to Abuja in short time. And in that short time, you have to meet a lot of people. And you have to make a lot of exceptions. And you have to make a lot of adjustments and compromise. So it hasn't really been like, I'm not in Tulum or Mexico where I'm shaking my ass on the beach.
Just you
Right?
there.
Drinking margaritas. I
Yeah.
can't remember last time I even sat down to like enjoy something.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. And you?
Me? What am I taking back?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Rest.
I don't know. Rest, yeah.
Rest.
I've got
Stronger
to
mind.
rest. Yeah.
renewal.
Stronger mind. I guess so.
Yeah. You're.
And a new chapter, you know. My what? My what?
Vanessa's one is very, very, very interesting.
Mine is interesting because it's like it's a new chapter. Like I feel like the last decade has come full circle for me because I feel like my life went to shit from 2011 and we're in 2021 right now. And like
I know
it's been
That's the year she lost her elder brother. Rest in peace, Emeka. A moment of silence, please.
it's been a decade of pain and suffering and
preach.
That seems very
you know
resonates.
do you get me?
And whole phases.
And what?
And whole phases.
Your mind.
This one-
One whole face. Please, thank you.
No.
Let's not even go there. Moving on. Yeah, so I just feel like it has come full circle and it's a new chapter of, opportunities, blessings, joy, peace, love, peace. Peace.
Twice.
Honestly, peace. because that's really all I need and want in my life right now, like peace. And London is so peaceful for me. And coming back to Nigeria has been like, what's going on? Like, but also, okay, I do like this place. I actually do like Nigeria, especially Abuja. So yeah, just a new chapter that I'm looking forward to. Going back to school.
Go back and just continue.
Yeah, honestly.
Let me tell you guys an interesting concept called Kairos. Do you know what Kairos is?
Chiropractic, yeah?
No.
Car in Egypt.
Kairos.
Kairos.
So, in Greek, time is described in two words. There's chronos, chronos.
Oh yeah, chronology.
Yes, and then there's kairos. So chronos is described as consecutive time, sort of. So like yesterday, today,
Like a
tomorrow, past, present, Monday, Tuesday, like time as recorded.
Yeah.
That is chronos in Greek. That's time in Greek. And there's kairos, and kairos is the moment in time. So while we're in a society that's heavy on chronos in terms of you work from Monday to Friday, you have like a 3-day weekend, start all over again, counting months, years, and time is just passing by. All you really have is kairos, if you can find it, to be able to like wherever you are, whatever you're going through, like being able to find that present moment and own it, because that's all you have.
That's all you have.
2 seconds later, it's gone. It's a memory. And so finding ways to make, and that's how you make like
What he
moments.
just said too is a memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're trying to like get in that frame of mind where you're not a slave to chronos, to society's time. That's why people are always like, people always saying, oh, it's time to marry, it's time for this, time for this. But Kairos is saying, do things in your own time. Take your own moment. So it's like what happened with us out there, just chatting and talking, and then an opportunity came for this to happen, and we all kind of like took it. That's like an example of how Kairos is, right? Or when you're having an argument with someone, the moment when you're able to like change their mind, that's Kairos, right? But to be able to be that, you have to be in the moment. You have to be paying attention to what's going on around you. You have to be like in tune, and in that way, life doesn't pass you by because everything is like you
live life.
Everything, whether it's the pain or the good, you're just there for it, and you're extracting the meaning and the lesson at every point in time. So if you're able to do that, life becomes 100 times more meaningful. I try to remove complaining from everything I'm doing. I try to remove like whatever it is that could limit my ability to enjoy the thing. So I guess we're here for a reason, because you mentioned that you can't wait to not be here, or
Yeah, and I feel like it's because we're doing the same thing all over and all over and all over and all over and all over. I mean, how many restaurants can you go to that you eat and you reach that euphoria?
See, but that's what being in the moment is about. Because when I'm in the moment, I don't worry. Like, I have anxiety, right?
Yeah.
It's not severe, but I have anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm always worrying and overthinking
Yeah.
and over planning. Like, I want to know to the T.
100%.
What you get? So when I'm in the moment, I don't worry and focus on the future. I'm here and now, and that's
Mad.
peace for me.
And I've been saying,
Like there's
I've asked
power in
myself
being
this
able
trip,
to do that.
what's gonna happen if things doesn't go my way and I move on? Because things cannot go your way and you can sit down and have a bad day.
Yeah.
But I'm asking myself, what if it doesn't go my way and I move on? And I've been finding that if it doesn't go my way and I move on, I'm still gonna be fine.
You'll still be fine.
You will make room for a plan B.
Exactly.
But the thing is, sometimes we just worry so much about plan A not working that we just miss out on plan
100%.
C's
That's
and
me.
That's
B's.
why I don't even plan
And plan
anymore.
C's and B's are always where the true joy is.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it at
It's
first.
true.
It's like but then when you experience like,
Yeah.
Like going to play that day.
I'm done.
It wasn't the plan. I mean, lit.
yeah.
Yeah? Which play are we talking about?
The best, like, you want to get in the moment like that, just like watch your breath. That's like the most momentous thing you can ever do. Just breathing, just
And stop
noticing.
thinking.
Yeah. So once you do that, so whenever I find myself like drifting or overthinking, I just
Yeah, work.
Or when I'm driving, you know, if you drive and you're driving and you find yourself spacing out, you know, because obviously
But we're
driving
all
is...
guilty here. But you know what? You just kind of give us an example of one way you deal with your emotions.
See what just happened there? That's Kairos. That was the moment I said the thing, made the point that allowed her to understand my point of view and change her mind. That's God. And talk about full circle. That is what's up right there. If you enjoyed this episode, I want to hear more from Anita, Fanen, and Vanessa. Do subscribe, because there's more gorgeous, gorgeous goddesses. I keep forgetting, aka Triple G. Can't be saying gorgeous, gorgeous goddesses every single damn time. But there's more of that where that came from. We had a whole 2-hour conversation that contained too many gems, and I didn't want to overfeed you guys. For example, we explored my deep woke womanizer concept in depth in that episode. But stay tuned. You're definitely going to want to hear what that's about when it drops. So subscribe, share, leave a review. I would greatly appreciate it. And do listen. Do make out time to listen to the other episodes that we referenced throughout this conversation, especially Vanessa's Awakening. The links are in the description of this episode. It's lit. Do not forget to follow the podcast on IG at The Young God Pod and Twitter at I Am The Young God for exclusive content. Thank you for listening. I'm Rodney Omokache, and this